I'll just make some random ass chords.
Testicles.
Sing about testicles.
Testicles and the 12 labors. Okay, yeah. Hi, welcome to the podcast. Which one is this? This is Nogat Les Mahn. Okay. Yeah. Hi, and welcome to the Nogat Les Mahn podcast. And yes, I just tried my hand at speaking Tok Pisin. Please tell me if I sound too white. I appreciate all of the feedback. I'll give it to our hosts now to take it from here, and I will stop embarrassing myself.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Nogat Les Man podcast. It's MK Yoba here, if you don't know who I am. I am joined by special people today, and it's gonna be fun, guys. I can't wait for this. As usual, my co-host.
Hey, I'm Shock23, aka Mr. Blue Beanie today, because my yellow one is in the laundry. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time because we have who do we have on the show today?
You know what? I'm just gonna let them introduce themselves.
Oh gosh, me first. Okay, hi, I am Dan Lovai, aka Killmonger Dan. I'm joined by Godfree, and we also have our own podcast. So this is pretty much a crossover.
This is a crossover that's been meaning to happen. I'm so excited.
100%, absolutely. This is exactly what this was. Like Dan said, hi, my name is Godfree, also known as Anxious Coconut.
The Anxious Coconut.
Coconut with anxiety. Anything to do with someone who's brown on the outside, white on the inside, and has just way too much time on their hands to think about things for way too long, and is trying constantly and his very best to monetize said things. But yes, it is wonderful to be on the Nogat Les Man podcast. What are we talking about today, guys?
Oh, it's a privilege. Hang on, just 1 second. I just forgot.
This is an anomaly for some reason. I was supposed to get like a good night's sleep. I did my entire sleep routine, clean my place, what is it? I cleaned my piercing properly. I did my hair. I did my bed. I put everything away. I set my downloads. I set my updates. I just get in bed, and then suddenly I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, what if I'm here forever? What if I'm gonna die in this country? Oh God, I don't wanna die here. I was born here, I lived here, I'm gonna die here. Oh my God, and what have I achieved?
Wait, you've always wanted to go out of the country?
When I was little, yes, and then I got it into my mind that somewhere along my magical mystery of life that, I could stay here and I could help this country, but then I took the time to live in this country and I realized, holy shit, it's gonna take so much more than optimism to fix this place. Jesus Christ.
That's the truth. That's a
honestly,
truth. That's a hard truth.
That's
a hard,
uncomfortable
truth.
And that's what kept me awake. And okay, I don't know if I should say this here, but I've been drinking since 1 a.m.
No, you can.
Oh my God. So yeah, I just had to scull a beer on the way through when you messaged me. I'm so sorry.
But that was what we were talking about the last time I met you. Like a drunk podcast sounds like a lot of fun.
That would be nice, honestly.
Just get some spirits, get some wine.
Would that be the easiest way to get a sponsor?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Seriously,
honestly,
appeal. Just put
absolute Pacific beer or something SP.
I'm terrified of sponsors.
Why?
Because if you get one, it closes off opportunities for something else. Sure, you get money, sure you get recognition, but then if you get one, you're gonna have to keep them happy. And if you don't, they're just gonna have this sort of bad relationship with you moving
Then just
forward.
walk away. Know your worth and value and walk away.
You know what? You should come up with terms and conditions of this is what I can do. This is you set expectations from the start.
But that's the thing. I just don't want to. I'm terrified of having this cage or having this bubble around me of things that I can and can't talk about.
What if that's your way of changing the world?
What if
that was the only thing? If you overcame that fear, just me asking a really weird question.
Oh God, that's the thing, dude.
If the sponsorship would enable you to do a lot more to achieve the goals you want to do, but you're too afraid. Oh, am I getting you?
No, I mean, okay, if they're allowing that, then I'd be completely fine. It's just that, my goals at the moment, right now, at this current time of recording, I don't plan on changing the world right now. Right now, I just want to make sure that I turn out okay, and I have enough money, and I can pay my rent, and I have enough food in my fridge to last me a fortnight or
so not the world, just your world.
It's just I think I've spent way too much time thinking about how I can help the world, and I just want a little bit of time, to think about how I can help myself for a bit.
I support that.
I don't think it'll last forever, but right now it's just okay, world is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably completely fucked up. Sorry, can I swear?
Yeah.
No, you can. You can.
It's probably completely fucked up, but it's just like, am I okay? You know, do I need like another cookie right now? Do I need a nap? It's like, I find myself asking these questions because sometimes I really do need a nap.
Yeah, you do,
I
man.
need a nap.
Yeah.
It's crazy 'cause the amount of time that we put into trying to fix
Other people's problems
Yeah, other
and-
people's
yeah.
problems, and then we just completely forget about
Yourself.
ourselves and the things and our own personal responsibilities, and it just sort of puts us in this position where we can't really help anyone else because there's nothing left of us.
Yeah.
And
I support that. I mean-
thought is terrifying for me.
Yeah.
Because I just like one day I thought to myself, oh my God, what if there's nothing left of me? And then what if like there's no identity that separates me from anything else? What if I have nothing left to give the world? And then it's just like, oh my God, okay, maybe I'll just like focus on me for
You
a
give
bit.
yourself too much that you lose yourself and you
Yeah.
forget who you are.
That's that. I never want that to happen. I never want that to happen. Just because I don't know if it's just a recent thing, but maybe I just have realized, you know, how important your self-identity is.
Yeah.
It is.
I
It
support
is.
that.
Yeah.
I'm in line because like I've understood that, especially when you're someone who your family relies on, and especially if you're like the responsible, the reliable, the other, you're like the safety net of the family. It's like they're always there for you. I mean, they're always there for you. You're always there for them, and the thing is that they have all these expectations. For my personal, like my own realization is that when they've seen me because of all the hard work that I do, and you know my own pursuing my own goals and my own dreams. You build this like self-discipline and you become a much more responsible person, and they see that and they try to take advantage of that, and they're like, oh, like he's gonna be fine, he's gonna get a good position, he went to school, he got a degree, he'll be fine, and then it allows them, or it kind of cripples them, it makes them reliant on you in a way where they can be reckless, but you can't afford to be reckless because you are relying on people. Especially when you're not the firstborn, it's even worse because you're supposed to be someone who's being taken care of. Instead, the roles are reversed, and the people who are supposed to take care of you or be there for you, they're not the ones. You're doing everything. So like, I get what you're saying, I understand, and I support the need, and that's helped me to realize I got to take care of myself first. I got to be in a position where every aspect of my life, mental, physically, emotionally, has to be together so that when I help people, it's not selfish, or I don't demand it to be given to me in return.
Yeah, you don't expect anything in
I can help
return.
people selflessly because I'm taking care of my own. Like I'm whatever the need that I want, I'm making it my responsibility to fulfill those needs, so that I don't give the responsibility for somebody else to take care of me or to love me or to give me the validation or the attention that I need. I mean, that's why I support that. Like, how you feeling? I felt that too, and like I'm in support of everybody who needs to take time off to be a little selfish and just get their shit together. It's important, because if you can't get your shit together, you're not going to contribute to anybody.
No, you're not going to help anyone. I relate to what Godfrey said because, like, man, to be honest, I spent half of my life trying to, help people and help my family grow the business and all of that. But I never really took the time to focus on myself. And it got to a point where I didn't know who I was, Like, I didn't know what I had to give to people because I was always helping other people with their problems and their shit. And then, like, what am I going to do? What do I want to become? Or what do I want? Yeah. Because someone asked me that once, what do you want to do? What do you want?
I've been there as well. It's a really hard question. I remember like I was venting to a couple of friends, and then they just stopped me and they were like, it was like a couple of years, it was like, so what do you want? And then I went silent because I realized I just didn't know what I wanted in life. It was like, what do you want? What do you actually want? And I was like, I don't know. And then it's frustrating when you help other people get to where they want,
and then you can't help yourself.
You just stop in the middle of your life, and you're just like, okay, like I'm stuck. You have the feeling where you're stuck in life, where you're just like, I don't know where to go from here. Like,
that's a terrifying feeling.
Yeah, it is.
I felt it
It's
so
very,
many times.
yeah.
Like, oh my God, I never ever want to get to that feeling again in my life. So, my God,
it's okay to focus on yourself. It's not selfish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh no, like I think it is selfish. But
No,
the thing is,
but
like,
it's
there's nothing wrong with being selfish.
No,
it's such a lovely thing. It's just it has such a negative connotation to it that people just take it the wrong way.
It's a good selfish because you're taking care of yourself. And you have to take care of yourself. You can't give that responsibility. I think that's the reason why there's so many toxic relationships and toxic friendships is that everybody is just trying to, and then there's people just piggybacking on other people because they just can't take care of themselves. And then they start
rely on
demanding.
external.
Yeah, and then like there are people who like, they don't give selflessly of themselves. Like it's like, I'm gonna do this, or they suddenly like, when you need something and you can't, they were like, I did all this for you, you know, where were you? Well, I've always been da 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 da. And just like to avoid all of that, mate, why don't you take care of you? Because then you have the longest relationship with yourself. When the whole world fades and you're all alone, it's just gonna be you. And then, you know, what's that relationship? The person you listen to your most are your thoughts. The person you talk to your most is yourself. So are you going to be there 100%. For yourself? Are you going to be for you or against you? You have that choice. And, mate, there's nothing wrong with that mindset. I'm for it. You should take care of yourself.
You can't help people if you're broken.
That's it. And I think just going off of that subject, I think there was a time, probably 2-3 years ago, when I decided to enter like sobriety. I quit smoking, quit social media and everything, and I just put myself in a little bubble because my life was in such shambles that I had to put it together again. And the biggest takeaway from that is just like basically what you were just saying. It's just you're gonna be the person that you're going to be with for the longest amount of time. So it's your responsibility to make your home, to make your mind the most comfortable place in the entire world. Because if your home isn't like a refuge, if your mind isn't a place of solitude that you can turn towards to, it's going to be terrifying to be alone. And well, let's face it, at some point in our lives, we're all going to be alone at one point. So just try and it was up to me to try and make that the most comfortable place in the entire world for me. And that's what took me like that little 3-year gap to achieve, just to make sure that I was comfortable with myself and I didn't have to rely on anyone else. Not rely in the sense of like codependency, as in I need to be around someone so that I can
function.
To function properly, or I need to be around people who they can like do things with me. It's because I don't know what to do. It's just I need to make sure that I'm comfortable with myself. Not knowing how to do certain things and learning how to do these things. And I think that's the biggest way of getting into that sort of mindset where you're just completely 100% comfortable with being on your own.
Yeah, I think that's a superpower. If you can be alone by yourself and not be bothered. Not only that, but it's like some people just become recluse. But like just
I'd like to become reckless.
But like being comfortable with the idea that if I'm going to be alone or with people, I'm okay. Like I don't need the company of other people. I'm comfortable with myself and with my own thoughts, with what I say or think about myself. Like even your reflection, if you have like a really good, like you look in the mirror and you're actually happy with who you see, like those are really good places of self-confidence and self-esteem. You actually function better. And for me personally, I think it has like all those selfish negative connotations attached to it. But then when you help other people, like you don't expect anything back. You can give advice for free. You can just, love someone.
Because you come from a place of self-worth.
Exactly. And you can show affection to someone. And if they don't reciprocate, it's okay. You don't need it. You can just move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or, if someone doesn't compliment you for something that like you look good, you look good and nobody compliments you, like you're not okay. You're okay with that. It's like, it's okay. I'm gonna appreciate myself. Like I like being in that zone, and especially like seeing like, especially a lot of people who are successful in business or in life, they also have that same, they're just comfortable in their own skill. They have really good relationships with themselves. Like, sounds corny, but loving yourself is really a really good thing.
Love yourself.
As long as it's not like, in an egotistical way where you lord it over everybody.
That's a thin line. You have to be careful.
That's
a thin line, honestly.
Too far.
Don't get it twisted for life.
Definitely. Putting yourself first, and then you got a really good foundation to help other people if they need help. Like you don't have to force. Some people find their validation in helping other people. Like I used to be one of those people. Like it makes me feel good to help other people. And when nobody needs my help, like what's wrong with me? Why don't you need my help? But then it's really hard to help myself now. It's like, I need a lot of help. And then these people can't help me the way that I want to be helped. I've experienced those problems, and then the only solution to my problem is like I'm just going to sort myself out and fix myself. And then surprisingly, the universe, life starts bringing the right kind of people into your life who can contribute to those goals and to those alliances. Man, this went deep really quickly. I love it.
I love it.
No, that's so good.
Wasn't this the whole point of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is it.
And I guess it comes with knowing yourself. Also, you have that self-awareness. So you're not constantly, or you don't find yourself in bad situations because you're aware of what you're saying and what you're doing. So it stops you from ending up in a place where you know it's not going to be good. Gosh.
No.
But when it comes to helping people, I think me personally, I only do it when I know that they have no other means of helping themselves. If it's like I'm sort of a last resort kind of mentality. Where if there really isn't any other option,
Do you like that? Like
Do you
being
like being the
the
last
last
resort? Yeah.
Not necessarily. I like that I'm the last one considered, but at times, I sort of accept that responsibility. That, like if I don't step in, then
No one's
one
gonna-
else is going to
yeah,
step
okay.
in. So yeah.
So you're the last resort.
I'm right
I'll
to
call you
assume
when
that
I'm
we're
about
all
to die.
introverts, right?
Yeah, we are. I mean, I am
very
just.
introvert. I'm
I'm alone, so.
Yeah, because like this is like what I've realized. This is a very common. I mean, because like introverts, we find strength and we get recharged in solitude. So we get drained in social interactions. Doesn't mean that we're not social people or we can be socially awkward, but like
You just have a limit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. Or
That's-
at least a smaller limit
yeah,
compared to other
because
people.
we interact so well with other people. I've seen us all in social situations, and then people, when I make these statements, oh, like I'm an introvert, they just look at me funny. It's like, no, you're not. It's like, no, it's because I'm comfortable with you, and I'm allowed to be open. But like after this, I'm going to be drained. I need to be alone, and just for me to recharge. And I think that's like because we're alone with ourselves, we kind of just get into our own heads, and then we fail to see the value within ourselves and our own self-worth. Sometimes that's what I think.
No, it's very true. Like a friend of mine pointed it out. There's a different type of there's an introvert and an extrovert, but there's someone who can be both.
And
An introvert or something, But that's kind of dangerous because sometimes when the boat kind of tips, you go one way too much and you go the other way too much. But that's where you're always at. And I keep finding myself there. Sometimes I'm like really open. I want to talk to everybody. I'm very social, and other times I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm very reserved in new, like if I'm in a group of people I just
I don't know them.
I'm the quietest one there until I find like common ground. And so like, okay, it will be noisy. So I like warn my friends, like if you guys want to be friends with me, like just be prepared. Once I get comfortable with you, I'll be like the most annoying person in your life. And then people hate on me. It's like I warned you all. I warned you. I'm toxic like that.
Jeez. Okay. Wow.
Pandora's box.
Honestly, I think I'm the opposite. When I'm in sort of a new setting, and any opportunity I get to make a noise, I will probably try to do that. Just because I try to make myself or establish myself as the
alpha.
person who's absolutely do not want to be the alpha. If anything, I want to be the. Oh God, no! We're treading into this.
Don't go beta. Just
No,
don't.
I was gonna say stigma, but like that's a term that is frowned upon on the internet. If Reddit is any cause to explain that, but no, it's just nice to make other people aware that I'm capable of this. So yeah, it's just that's what I like to do. That's why at the thing we were at like that night.
Yeah.
What is it? On Friday, right? I just tried to be every time someone asks me.
What was
something.
Friday?
We had this thing.
We had a meeting.
We can talk about it.
Yeah,
right?
we can.
We can.
I wasn't invited. I'm sorry. Go on.
You should be in the next one.
No, it's alright.
Both of you should be.
I don't want to be.
Yeah, because I was asking you, where were you? Anyway, so we've been invited to take part in a panel discussion. I mean, Godfrey's going to be co-hosting.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and then I'm one of the panelists. So we're doing a panel discussion about the youths and the election and just helping them to understand their role in politics. Politics and
essentially why or how important their vote is.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not really shoving down their throat to you need to vote. It's more of it's either
here's why you need to vote.
do this or this will happen.
All right.
Yeah. Mr. Castman said that night. It's sort of an extension of that.
So who's like leading this?
This was a thing by ABC, right?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
ABC and the folks
and an electoral commission are running this. So
Nice.
ABC,
commission. So they're gonna do. We're just doing what a 2 day, 2 day, 3
2
day
days for us. Yeah. But
recording
it's like
panel
4 episodes.
discussions. Yes, and there's a lot of they've invited a lot of us on social media to participate.
Yep.
I'm glad I'm not on that.
Yeah, we're gonna be just talking. It's a lot. I don't know. They use the term influencers, and I don't like that word. Like,
Yeah, I hate that
really
word.
don't like that term.
Influencer is a scary, scary word. I
Yeah,
think at one point in my life, I tried to be one, and then I was like, no, I don't want people doing what I do.
Yeah.
What I do is like
Weird.
completely.
Yeah, that's why you're the podfather.
Yeah,
Coined
yeah,
that term.
he's
Now
the
it's official.
podfather.
It's
Yes.
official.
Okay, I
Our
have to give
podcast
credit.
started because of Godfrey and Dan.
Yes, honestly, this is the time to give credit to them, right?
Yeah,
Because we said to
yeah.
do that for like
This wouldn't be possible.
this wouldn't be possible
Gosh.
without like the minds of this people right here.
That's why Godfrey is the podfather. Because
Thank
it
you.
started on, because he's going to give credit to Dan, but then it started on his profile.
Yes, no, but I want to say that it's because of this one that not culture is actually a thing that exists. Because the only reason not culture, the podcast, actually exists is because this one kept on bugging me for like 6 months. So like, oh, can we do a podcast? Oh, can we do a podcast? And I'm like, yeah, but we don't have fucking equipment to do it. We don't have cameras. We don't have like a fucking space. And I was like, at one point he's just like, can we just do like something and we record it and see how it goes? I was like, fine, okay, let's just record something. So we just like went into the place that I'm renting at. We put our phones down. We put out like a shitty GoPro in the corner of the room, and we just talked about how bad
The internet rates were. I remember that. I remember that. I watched that.
and that was it. It's just, it was
Yes.
like, oh,
Thank
wow.
you.
That was
Thank you, honestly. I watched it first and I was like, you don't need all that fancy shit.
You don't need all that fancy shit. You just need to be able to speak about something that you have or want to speak about. That's all you have to do.
I like the fact that it's called Not Culture, because I think that everybody,
Is
if
culture
they wanted
oriented.
to do like a podcast, it would either be something about culture, about politics, and just the normal thing that
Yeah.
everybody wants to talk about. And like the fact that you guys just totally go off script and talk about whatever you guys want to talk
Yeah,
about.
it's fantastic.
And as creatives
Yeah.
and as like geeks, and you just geek out about movies and stuff like that. Like it's fun to just listen to people and just relate to things
Yeah.
like that, and not be constantly like pounded by political messages and agendas or
Subliminal
like,
messaging and all that.
Because I think whenever people have discussions about like open discussions on anything, it's usually on radio, and it's always on like either of the talkback shows, and it's always about something official, like like politics.
Yeah,
or
like
what's
the,
happening
what's
in
this,
the
I think
country.
FM 100 does the red table talk,
yeah, the
with
red-
their podcast as well. And
so
it's the
cringe.
same. It's more of the same as well. It's just more about the elections. They talk about candidates and all of the stuff. I mean, it's important stuff. I mean, but like people want to talk about other stuff, and there are other interests as well. And like I like the fact that you guys have gone that left turn. And it's fun. It's good to hear people's perspectives and
Basically,
You
you
realize that there are
opened
other
the
people.
door to a whole other dimension of like putting up, like helping people put out content and what was I trying to say? You just opened up another door, basically.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
thanks. No, honestly.
that's why you're the podfather.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'll put it in the graphic strap like the podcast.
Oh, God.
Subtitles and everything.
Actually, no, for the title of the podcast, I'm actually quite proud of that just because it was like all my idea.
Yeah, okay.
Because I, as a person, just did not want to talk about the country and culture and politics and any of that because there's just so many people talking about it.
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
And they're talking about it's not just the content, it's how they're talking about it. It's in a way that's so, oh God, it's so guarded and it's so vetted and it's so walking on eggshells. It's like no one's actually talking about their opinions on these things. It's like 20 million people have to script something and vet it first before someone actually says something about it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be like, no, fuck that. I just want to give my opinions.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this country might be going down the fucking drain, but also, Doctor Strange is coming out. Are you guys gonna see that? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Illuminati are in it? I think so too.
I think so.
No,
too.
trailer
Yeah, it is.
confirmed
It
it.
is
The
actually,
trailer
yeah,
confirmed
it is.
Oh my God.
It is.
Yes,
They
it
say it
did.
by name. They
my
linked
God.
like
The
a photo, it's like a
Illuminati
scene.
will
Yeah,
see
the Illuminati
watch
will
that
see you
movie.
now.
And that's just like that's the thing that I wanted to be. I wanted to finally just go and do something that wasn't associated with all the shit that's happening in this country. And there is a lot of
That's what I love, because then you show that Papua New Guineans, they're just not one-sided people
Yeah.
who just think about culture and politics. Like we love other things as well.
Yeah.
We want to talk about other things as well.
Yeah.
And not everybody.
Which reminds me, there was this, I forgot, there was this girl in New Zealand, not New Zealand, Auckland, yeah, Auckland's New Zealand. She DM'd me. Sorry, so if you're watching,
I
she
know where you're from
she's
now.
like, she's like,
names.
I always had this one-sided view on like men in Papua New Guinea. I didn't know they could talk about all of these other things, and I was like, oh wow, thank you. Like, yeah, we're not just simple men who slash and beat wives and all of that.
Yeah, you'll find all of them on
We can do
Facebook.
that
They're the
too.
loud ones on Facebook.
You know, that's
but-
something I discovered recently. There's like a international perception
About Papua New
of like
Guinea,
PNG men like our age.
Yeah, I told you, we have a branding problem. We
Yeah,
have to fix
a
that.
problem, definitely.
Oh, is the branding problem that we'd like to beat and slash women?
Yeah, it is. Like that's the
Man,
international
I mean,
perception.
That's the thing, like, there's so many negative things said about the media, and it's recycling. The problem with that, or the danger with that, is that it's going to get into people's minds. And
I think it already has.
I mean, let's not lie, it already has.
It already
the
has.
thing is that it already affects our actions, and then we don't care. That's the thing, we don't care about us. Somebody said this, I saw a post that said PNG had a self-esteem problem, and I agree with that. It's because people have called us shit for so many years. People have really degraded us. We don't even treat ourselves with respect. We have this negative inverse racism towards ourselves. Like, where does all of that come from? We come from a lineage of proud, warriors, and we're some of the civilization that started agriculture. And our ancestors built houses like different places in the villages. They have custom houses to suit their terrains. Like, where does all of that knowledge come from? We've sailed, voyaged the seas. That's where our heritage come from. Somewhere down the line, we've like, no, we're shit. We're Papua New Guineans. We always come late. We don't deserve all of that. And like, I'm really sick of that.
It's a branding problem.
The fact that podcasts and content creators are coming and they're just creating content that's away from that, I feel like I love that because it's putting a positive spin. It's like we're not pushing the same narrative that we're like this problem. Hey, there's actually some good things about us. There's some stuff that we like about ourselves and all of these things.
The mic's on.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the cutest fluffy thing I've ever heard. I know, right? You should feel that snap.
It should just like come to life and be like, thank you.
Okay, I'd be terrified of that.
So actually, that is a dead cat. This is a dead cat.
I love that term. Every
Yeah.
time I say it, I'm like, the what?
Yeah, it's actually cat fur, legit.
Like actual.
Yeah,
Is that what they call it?
yeah. It's just why they call it dead cat. Because like you know how they don't actually kill cats, but they use cat fur.
They just shave it. That's what they tell. That's what they tell you
pussy fur.
to keep you at peace.
Oh, interesting. Why would? Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why. Someone invented
marketing.
this. I forgot his name. He tried to like muffle the sound to a point where he uses he uses dead cat, and then they'll
sounds
be
like
like,
a Hogwarts
"Oh,
professor.
we should use a cat." Professor.
Imagine McGonagall, but instead of turning into a statue,
It's probably McGonagall.
Oh,
That was her side business.
Look at us geeking out about movies. Anyway, go carry on.
Patronus is like a razor blade. No.
Oh, I can't wait for Fantastic Beasts to come out. Honestly, Fantastic Beasts.
It already came out.
What?
Part 3. Part 3 is already out. It's been out for a
The
while.
Secrets of Dumbledore, it's already out. Everyone hates it.
I'm not really into that franchise.
I will go watch that movie.
Part 1 was good. I like the first
I love
one.
the first one so much. I hated Harry in Harry Potter. Like I hate chosen one stories, honestly, and so that's why I love Newt because he's the
Not the chosen
he's
one.
what's the term I'm looking for? There's this essay that I read like a while ago where it talked about this type of protagonist that is the opposite of the, that action hero archetype. They're the person that doesn't want to be in the spotlight. They're introverts. They hate being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
All
Right.
they want to do is just accomplish their small goals, but they just keep getting pulled into this grand story. And that's
It's like the
essentially-
Hobbits, like the Hobbits in Lord of the Rings. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like people like that, essentially, which was essentially the script for the first Fantastic. Yeah, essentially Newt, and the script for the first Fantastic Beasts movie. All he wanted to do was go to America to take care of the
Magical beings, yeah.
When it was about the Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
instead of
Have you seen the branding for it?
He's
It's
like, he's in love with what's his face that no one cares about. No one literally cares.
Like, and it's reflected in the branding as well. It says, and the secrets.
They're just trying to, I think J.K. Rowling says looking for money.
Fantastic Beasts in Harry Potter lore.
It's
It was
just a bloody textbook.
It's a textbook that, what's his name? It was Newt, right?
Yeah, he's the one who wrote it.
He wrote the. He wrote it, but in the lore of Harry Potter, it was Harry's version who wrote the stuff on the sidelines, and that was the one that was sold out as a book on its own. With his scribbles in it. So they tried to make that in its own thing. So I guess.
Okay.
So with this storyline, they could take their liberties, but it's just like, it's not really about the Fantastic Beasts anymore. It's just about Dumbledore.
It honestly felt like Pokemon, that first movie. Each beast had its own thing.
It was so cool. It was so.
The first one, I really liked the
I
first
really
one.
liked the first one, honestly.
It
It
was
was
a
a
good
good-
movie.
lovely.
It was refreshing to step away from the Harry Potter thing and then look a different way.
The coolest thing about it, because it dealt with it in this wizarding world, but it dealt with a completely
Opposite,
protagonist
yeah.
And in what he was trying to do in a completely new setting, and that was just so novel, and it was something that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
It was just so cool. That's like one of the things that it got me hooked on it. But then the reason I like it so much is because of Newt and his character, because I see so much of myself as a person who's a complete introvert and who like doesn't like people and would rather spend their time with cute animals that could probably kill you.
But then you live in the spotlight.
Yeah,
All the time because of the
What
person.
you do, you just keep
Yeah.
getting dragged into
Yeah,
the spotlight
same.
to do random crap. And he has that one friend who he can tolerate. Wait, which one is that? Is that the platypus thing?
No, the American dude. This was
American
in
dude.
America.
Yeah.
No, but at the ending it broke my heart because remember what happened at the ending?
Yeah, they made him into a like.
It doesn't matter to me. Part 2 and 3 doesn't.
I didn't follow part 2. I watched it and I just didn't understand it. I was like, I'm not going to watch it again.
Yeah. Part
Apparently
2.
Catwoman dies in it, so. Oh, I'm sorry.
What? No spoilers. No spoilers, please. I haven't
Age
watched.
doesn't matter. You're an adult. When you're an adult. I have to like put that statement in there. When you're an adult, age doesn't matter.
How old is John Monet?
Oh God, stop! Okay, no wait, what was I gonna say? I forget now. Something about Zoe Kravitz, and she was a.
Him as well. How old is Zoe Kravitz?
Oh, Zoe Kravitz.
Did you see him in... Not Zoe.
Ezra.
The dad. Zoe's dad.
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny. How old is he?
Sorry, I thought you were
Lenny
saying that
Kravitz.
For some reason, I forget he's a they now. My bad. Lenny Kravitz, he's like 60 now.
It's like 64 or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
No. How did we get here?
Yeah. How do we get here? Anyway, back to the point.
What were we talking about at first?
We were talking about
the image of PNG.
the image of PNG. How bad people look upon themselves and how bad the self-esteem
I
is.
mean, I don't get it. I don't get how we mistreat ourselves. Like, you just walk into like a hotel and it was like, oh, you're PNG. And like, they just like,
And the staff, they are PNG.
yeah. And like,
Double standards.
customer service, like, it's just, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
And you feel it. It's pretty
Yeah.
You feel it when you go to like some hotels you go to and like you know you're being treated different.
Yeah.
Oh my God, classic example. You know when you're at La Mana and then you try to go upstairs and then you're not white and they're like, no,
my God.
you can't go upstairs. Sorry. We have to get the boss to come and see you.
It's like
Yeah,
you need
like-
a white friend to
Yeah,
get
It's just ridiculous.
I'm glad that I have like there's someone like Isabel Joma who passes as white.
Yeah.
Where she's like, where she can walk up to them and she's like, "Hi guys, this is my friend Godfrey," with her white voice, and I'm just like, yeah. And then like they take me up, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm fine."
But then you have to stay up there. If you go back down there,
You can't get
know,
there,
right?
honestly.
Like she can go down with her friends and she can dance, and I'll be like, "Yes, girl," and then I'll be like up there alone. And I'm like,
That's just the annoying part of this whole, I mean, living in this country. Just that colonial mindset is just still there. It's just like,
Yeah, have you guys watched the Leave No One Behind movie?
what's
So,
that one about?
honestly, it's a great documentary.
by the Digital Foundation one?
Yeah. But the thing I don't relate to, it's an unpopular opinion, is that we're still driving a narrative that white people are here to save us. Or like whites, you know.
They featured all the doctors.
It was all about that.
Bloody. That's the exact opposite angle that Ophir took.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Ophir?
Oh, Fear.
Yeah.
No,
Is that
no.
the movie?
I gotta watch that. I
have to watch that one.
Honestly.
The exact opposite.
Opposite approach. Yeah, okay, I love that. I gotta watch that.
Discard everything that was westernized about the mining and everything.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, fuck that. we need to start taking care of our own land and our own resources.
We gotta show that more. Honestly, we gotta show that more.
We went to see it. I was like,
They did a review on it.
Oh God, I
I
gotta
didn't want to
watch
listen to
that.
it because I wanted to go in blind, but then I
Yeah,
heard, like,
honestly, I
watched
was
the
avoiding that
snippets.
because I wanted to watch it myself.
I'm like, that's the thing. It's like we need to. That's the thing. We have because like so many people. I don't know about Dan, but like so many people come and they tell me you need to make a movie, and I made a movie, and they think like, oh, you need to make a comic web series. Like, yeah, that's fine. Like we just have the technical aspects to just get right, but in terms of stories, where to get stories, we have so much a really big well of our own stories that we can just use. And like I love what Andrew Kuliniasi is doing with his writing and his theater as well. He's just pulling from all of those. And we need to tell more of our stories and our history, man. Like we don't even learn our history in school.
That's what it's like the crocodile. I don't even think it's being like as pushed as like reading material for schools now. The crocodile.
True.
But is anyone listening? Do you guys remember the novella? Novel?
Yes,
The
yes,
crocodile,
yeah.
right? I think I didn't get it. I was in the other curriculum, but you guys definitely.
I actually didn't get that book.
I've seen the cover. I don't know if I've read it, but
It's about around World War II, or that like earlier half of the 20th century, and it's about this Gulf fellow, and then it's basically a story about westernization, how his culture is slowly changing and all that.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it's not really spoilers, but if you've ever read Chinua Achebe's books about things fall apart, it has the similar tone where the main character is so affected by Western culture and that he basically has like
A mental break.
a mental break.
Yeah.
He's like, just trying to understand what's happening to his country and his culture.
Wow.
And like how it's affected his life and all that. And yeah, it's a sad story, but it's something that I feel like, and it was written in a time where I think it was very relatable because that generation of people and who it's based on, the main character, he's from that time, people who came straight from like old school village life. Like this is the early 20th century. So it goes on through his life, and I think the story ends around, I think, 1960 or 1950 or 1970, where he was like a small boy in like 1920, and then he lives through, I think World War II. Oh no, he's a carrier. He's a carrier in World War II. I remember this now. He's a carrier in World War II, and it talks about how he helps, how he was a carrier for the Australian soldiers. He walked the Kokoda track and everything as a carrier. It's a great story.
Wow.
And then I remember, I think recently I heard.
is it on Kindle?
I might be wrong, but I heard that it's not in print anymore, and it's no longer being pushed as reading material for
Kids.
like secondary school.
Yeah.
I hope it's because like I'm into Kindle. I read everything on Kindle now.
From what you said, like, question: who decides that? Who made that decision to not do that anymore? Was it a problem that they ran out of copies?
That's actually a really good
Did
question.
the author pass away? Not want to leave copies of the book around?
Especially back in the day, there were a lot of PNG books. Like now,
There was.
Because I remember, because now they're doing a production of Nora Vagi Brushes. Like, and I remember I read that as a kid. Like my sister, she won it as for a prize, and all her poems and the play that the Which Married Big Man. I really like that play. It's a really, really good one.
Oh, God.
And there's like. And I remember that's something like back in the day, like where like the modern day, like do we still have those books in print, or are they? I mean, you're asking a really important question.
I have someone I can ask about that. I'll probably ask him.
Like if
Is it
anyone
the-
is like watching as well, if anyone can tell us, just where did these playwrights go? Where did these novels go?
Yeah.
Who decided to stop making these books? Because whoever did, why?
Probably have to be like the publisher, and then
No, it's not the like
Legal things? Could it be?
it's either that or like
it's the publishing company, the guys who print the books and sell it. It's like
Remember who?
Yeah.
probably the government
not
like cut ties with the contract
I
or
mean,
something.
like in terms of like
think
they're trying to
so.
push this whole education narrative, like
Yeah.
support publishers who are printing PNG books, and then you create job opportunities for more writers and more authors to rise up, more people who write poetry. You're creating jobs. There's no like, I mean, we're living in days where SMEs are being pushed, like
Yeah.
business ideas.
Yeah.
There's so many business ideas that we can push.
But this SME, there's so many double standards happening with the SME, like support SME.
Again, we need to stop. The problem is that people want the government to solve all their problems and fund all their businesses. No, you got to be smart enough to make your income and to generate revenue and not make losses. That's business 101.
Yeah.
That's how people overseas they do it. So if you're complaining about the government, you check your books and check your balances. You're not running your business the right way. You should be self-reliant in your income.
You hear
If
that?
you're borrowing, you should have a plan on how to pay it back. If you're using capital, it's These are business principles.
Honestly, a lot of people borrow for liabilities. Like it's
Things that don't pay off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you want to borrow, you borrow for an asset.
Yeah.
You know, if you know that it's
You
going
have to be smart. You can do capital, but you have to be smart about it. You have to have a plan to pay it off. So that
Don't just borrow like you're gonna go on holiday and like.
and so
I need some money.
Like these are basic things, basic business practice.
I know, right?
But like we're talking about books, and one of the interesting things that I remember having a conversation with this woman who used to be a lecturer at UPNG, and then we had a discussion, and somehow they were talking. She was talking with somebody else, and they were talking about our constitution. And then she just got up and she was like, "Oh, your constitution is beautiful." And the way she described it was like poetry. And she's like, it's beautifully written. It's so powerful. It's well crafted. And then she just made this comment. It's way more powerful than the Australian constitution. That it protects us more. The way it's written, it protects the interests of our people more than how the Australians have written. And it's like, how so? And then she was like, when I was lecturing here, the main book that she used to use to teach students at UPNG was The Melanesian Way by Bernard Narakob, and she was like, that's staple. Everybody should read that book because it teaches you about your own constitution and how your forefathers have written that law. And then from that, I was introduced to the 5 directive principles. Those are like the framework of our constitution upon which they're built. It was on the day that I discovered that, and I read like it's written in our constitution that our cultural, the Melanesian way of us doing things is a staple. Our people will not survive unless it's like
The Melanesian way is upholded.
It's what our constitution is built upon, and that was like the key to success for this country is if they keep the Melanesian way, hold on to our cultures, our values, all the hard work that our forefathers, because they didn't choose all the intellectuals of the day to write that. They interviewed all the villagers and the farmers and the fishermen. There was like, what kind of country do you want to build? And it was like, this is the country that I would. Upon those, it's the 5 directive principles were written, and then from that, the Constitution was written in its depth and its entirety. And the 5 directive principle is summarized in the pledge, the national pledge. It's the same thing, and we repeat that. We know that as children. It's already ingrained. And then it just makes you realize how beautiful our country is and how so many intellectual people have founded this nation, but somewhere along the line,
we lost
it's going
track
backwards.
of that,
And if we're not careful, we're going to be losing our identity soon. And then it's just going to be, even our independent status could be a threat.
It is already a threat.
It's scary. It can get to that level if we're not careful.
No, absolutely.
That is why stuff like voting the right leaders is pivotal at this time.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because
Gosh, 5 years is a long time.
Yeah, because I've come to understand that there are 3 versions of ourselves. There's your former self, your younger self, your past self, your current self, and then there's your future self. And all of them have a relationship with each other. Like our current selves right now, we're reaping the seeds that were sown by our younger selves. Whatever we're experiencing, whoever that person, their choices, their decisions, all of that, we're experiencing it right now. Whether we benefit from that or healing from that or suffering from that, our future is constantly being created because we constantly make changes and we constantly have habits. Our future is being created by what we do today. And that relationship, looking at that, for me personally, it makes me so aware of my choices now going forward. And that's the question that I would pose to us who are voting. It's like, we're not voting people into government, we're creating the next Papua New Guinea. And what kind of country do you want to live in? Do you still want to have access to basic infrastructure? Do you still want hospitals that don't have medicine? Do you still want roads that are only built when it's election time to get more votes? Do you want to trade in 5 years future for just a bag of rice or some flex during a campaign? Those are for me, when I start thinking, I think during that meeting that we had, I was just really thinking about it. I realized that we're really not voting. We're creating a country. We're creating a country for the next 5 years, and then it's kind of like you're in a bus, and then you select someone to drive you in the bus, and then how that person drives, it's up to you, whatever direction to take. But the problem is that as driver, kill me or mess up, we have the right to beat his ass and then dump it on the side of the road and select somebody else. And then I think we need to also come back to finding our own power as voters, not as voters, as citizens, as people who have inherited this land. This is our country, and we got to take ownership of that, and not on just through election. election time is not the only time that you can make a difference. Every single day you have the choice and the power to make a difference in your own communities, in your own homes, in your own cells. Like we had a discussion earlier about ours, like taking care of ourselves. It always starts there. It starts with you, with how you're thinking, what you're talking about, how you live in your life. And then if you start living in a way more positive life, you start to affect your circle of friends. And then they start to affect their circle of friends. And then you start to affect your circle of influence. And then your workspaces change, your companies change, your communities change. That's the power of small change. When you start with yourself and you slowly build it up, you never know. And I think a lot of the problem is that we want a miracle to happen.
Yeah.
We're so used to this narrative that miracles, like it's not going to happen overnight. You know, the good Lord is not going to come and give us bread and manna and just, you know, flick his finger and change the whole world. It's going to be a really long time for us to see change. But one degree in the right direction is better than just remaining and going backwards. I mean, those are just my thoughts, but
No,
anyway.
bro, you're like...
As you can say, we're very passionate about country. We love our country and we want to live in our country, but our country's making it a very difficult place for us to live in. And
every day.
you know, and as young people, like we're gonna inherit.
Yeah.
You know, all these people in power right now, you know, they're making all their good money, they're gonna retire, their family's gonna be taken care of. But what about us and what about the people? And we're like middle class, like we're not living like, you know, like we're not rich kids and we don't live like in rich homes, or we're not even like we won't say we're poor and we don't live in poverty. We're somewhere in the middle. But
we're trying very hard to stay there.
It's still a struggle for us, but then you just imagine for people who are not so fortunate as us, like it's even harder for them. And then how do we get those people to believe in themselves, to know that they can create a better life for themselves and therefore create a better country?
That's my challenge. Like, I want to be able to help and reach a lot more people and educate them. But my challenge is like, how do I reach the people that are like, you know, on the streets, right? How do I get across to them, you know? And that is, honestly, I still struggle with how to take that message out to them, right? Because like, you're educated, you're watching this on the device or anything like that, you understand where we come from, what we're talking about, and you have the power to do something within yourself. But it's the people, like the majority, like 80% I can even say, or people that are just, you know, struggling every day to just make the meal of the day. That's where, like, that's the whole problem right now.
Absolutely. And Moresby really isn't one of the cheapest places
No.
to live.
No, it's
too
not.
expensive. The funny thing is that Moresby is so expensive to live. And then you have
wage is shit.
the minimum wage
Yeah.
is crap.
It's not even like, minimum wage should be upheld, but it's not strictly followed.
It's
It's like, it's not...
It's like just like guidelines to people. They're like,
It's like an optional thing, but it shouldn't. That's the thing. The workers' union. Workers. No offense, workers' union, but you're not doing your job. Seriously, like, just fucking address this shit.
I think again, it just goes back to how we see ourselves. If we're not seeing ourselves as valuable or worth shit, we're not gonna give a shit. And we're just gonna be like, it's okay. We're Papua New Guinean. You know, I'm like this.
That's a great segue.
I come from this spot. I don't have a degree. I don't have education. And they, you know, it's sad. You're gonna settle for less, and you don't deserve that. We don't deserve that. Come on, look at our forefathers and look at what they've accomplished, and we've had a bloodless independence. We should be very proud of that. We somehow convinced the Australian government to just hand over the nation to us without bloodshed, without a war. That's how much power, you know, all those forefathers.
Not a lot of countries can claim that, honestly.
All of them. Not only the men, but the women as well. You know, Josephine Abijah, like they did so much.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about women empowerment. Look back at all these people who have built the nation for us.
I reckon somewhere along the line we fucked up.
Something happened.
Yeah, something happened.
In everything, in both how we see ourselves, our leadership, it's reflected in our media.
It is.
In our books, our novels, our films.
Yeah.
We had an alright, like we had a pretty good film.
Yeah, we did.
Like around the independence period.
Yeah. Like there was films coming up when I was a kid. I can remember watching it like in theaters. There was theaters in fucking bro. But then like something happened. What the?
Yeah. I mean, just like, when 2015 we had the SP Games here, and like one of the things that I remember clearly is that sense of patriotism, because it wasn't PNG against PNG, it was us against the Pacific, and it was us, or any event where it's just us against the world. You just see people just put all their boundaries, and whatever it is that separates us, it just disappears. And suddenly we're just like all for each other. We don't even care, you Blailands or you Blonambis, like everybody is just for each other. And I thought to myself, like, just imagine if that's a daily thing where everybody felt that every single day of their life. They woke up and they had that patriotic pride. It was like, yes, it's me against the world. It's not me, you know, it's not about these little ethnic clashes, like, you know, that sense and that, like, it was so good to be, like, I was at the, you know, John Guys won the athletics and just being in the crowd, you know, like, man, like, we were wrecking the medals.
It's fine enough. It's like, you just want to, like,
you just feel that pride, like, and then like, for me, like, I want to feel that every single day. Like, I just want to walk down the street and just be proud to be a Papua. I don't want it to be like every Independence Day, suddenly, okay, all the colors go up, and like, it's just every single day. And then that's why I'm loving this push, like all these content creators are just creating so much stuff that are just, it's just
absolutely
just breaking barriers. And I feel like that's just one of the ways to really, like, if our standard media is not going to change the perception and, you know, the image and the look or the brand of PNG, then I really believe that everybody, that all these content creators, like even you guys, are just showing that we have so much more sides to us than just the traditional things of culture and tradition and politics that people like to talk about. There's so much stuff. We are a diverse people for a reason, and we have diverse interests and diverse needs, and we're exciting, colorful people, and we should be those kind of people.
Go on.
So just writing on that like thought, this is something that I asked you like a couple of days ago, Dan. It's just like it's a thought that came to me that I have been thinking about it for a while, but like I was wondering to what extent is the fact that we're such a diverse group of people to what extent is that preventing us to be more unified?
Continue, and he's going to add something. And then we wanted to talk about leaving and resigning companies, but here we are now, so this is fun.
Okay, next topic.
No.
That's usually how things happen. We decide to talk about something.
You see what happens now? We just like build on things. So it's crazy.
That's good.
Anyway, adding on to what you said, because you were like, I remember having a conversation with Serena, the CEO for DIgicel Foundation,
She's great.
and also the founder of The Voice Inc. and the Clean Gen. Excuse me. And then we just somehow just started talking about just how, she's a really amazing person to have a discussion with. Immediately when I talk, you just know that she's just a visionary, a vision for the country and for youth. It's amazing. And she said that one of the interesting things was that our culture, our country, our land, even though we were so diverse, nobody overpowered anybody else. Everybody had an understanding and they all lived in peace. There were tribal disputes, but we didn't have an empire. There was no one culture that rose to power and dominated the entire country. It never went to that level. We skipped that level. While empires were being built and civilizations were taking over civilizations happening all around the world, we skipped that era. And then we came straight into this colonial era and then independence.
Because it happened in Hawaii. It happened in Hawaii. That's how King Kamehameha, that's where the Kamehameha comes from. Yeah, he literally conquered all the tribes and became the king, and then colonialism happened.
We never went through that.
We never went through that.
We've never had like a king or a chief in our own land. Everybody had their disputes, but they still respected. And it's amazing how diverse. We have like 800 different
826
languages and cultures, and it's all unique. And it's just, we created that. Like, you have to understand, we created that. And for me, for someone who loves branding, that's like 700-800 different brands, so unique, and each of them have their own voice and their tone and their beliefs and their own way of like, it really fascinates me that we can come up with that. So like, when I see creatives rising up and excelling in what they do, it's nothing, it's in our blood. We've done it so long, we've done it so many. When architects come out and they start building fantastic buildings, it's in our blood, we just have to find people who can build boats and everything. Like industries, all of that, it's not different, it shouldn't be a problem for us. I think the problem is that we are thinking that we've been taught somebody else's way to do something without first asking, will it work for us, or adopting it to the way that I'm not against like foreign education, there are people who are much more smarter than us and much more knowledgeable than us, but sometimes a lot of that stuff will not work for us. And we need to start putting boundaries and asking ourselves first, will this work for me, my people, or is there a way where I can make it better so that it can fit my country and how it rises? I think, I don't know, we're getting a lot of things wrong, but one of the interesting things that Serena said is that there is, because of how the introduction of colonialism has really tipped the scales, and because we've valued more of what they've been saying and how they've been doing things, we try to copy them and we're losing our identity, and because it's balanced. And from her words, in order for us to restore that balance, it has to be good to go back and take a look at the Melanesian way and just reassess not really the culture and the traditions, but the values of what those culture and those traditions. It's not the practices that are gonna restore identity. It's the values and what our ancestors and what the former generation, they valued and they've tried to instill in us. If we've forgotten the values, then we've forgotten who we are as a people. And then we're going to be willing to sell our land and our culture, our sovereignty, even to that point, to the highest bidder. It can get to...
It's leading to, I mean, it's slowly going to that.
But like,
no, but it is what it is. We can't do much. Like, we can't sugarcoat things. If we sugarcoat things, then we'll keep people in the dark. It is what it is, like the way things are going. If we continue down this path for the next 10 years, we're probably going to sell ourselves to the highest bidder.
God. If we haven't done that already.
we probably don't know. It probably might have already happened.
We don't know what's happening under the tables and behind the scenes.
That's the stuff I think about, like at 3 or 4 in the morning when I wake up. Like, am I going? Like, is this country going to be? The prices are always going up, and like, gosh, what am I going to like? What are my kids going to be like?
I will be the voice of hope and say there is hope. It's hope is still hope. You don't. Hope is gone when you're dead. So if you're dead, there's no hope. So. If while you have the power to do something, do something. And I think the goal is like, we don't have to change 100% of PNG, 1% at a time. 1% is better than nothing.
So start with yourself. True. I think it's better to start with yourself, and then the next person, the one next to you.
If everyone in the country just started with
exactly, right?
Exactly. Because you don't have power over prices, you don't have power over tax, you don't have power to make these really, really huge changes in our country. But you do have the power to vote. You do have the power to wake up on time. You do have the power to be excellent at your job. You do have the power to use YouTube and the internet to teach yourself some skills that have not been taught in school. You have the power to do so many things to improve yourself and yourself alone. You have that power. Nobody can take that away. It's only up to you. If you don't want that power, it will be taken away from you. But if you want that power, it's always been within you. You don't need someone to empower you. It's always been within you. And I think that's the point of empowerment, is not to give someone else power. It's just to say, hey, you've always had the power, just use it. So
that's every self-empowerment video if you ever watch it.
Like Godfrey is right. If all of us just focused on improving ourselves, try to be better people.
One thing better, just one thing tomorrow. Wake up early and don't spit on the street. I don't know. That might make, if everyone decided to do that.
It will be a beautiful Moresby, if everybody stopped doing that. If people, just did one thing, throw your rubbish in an actual bin, small things like that,
Honestly,
it's not that difficult. Oh God!
That's the simplicity of change. So you can make it as complicated as possible, but like simple thing. If you see something that's corrupt, call it out. Something like that. Little things like that. Otherwise, we allow. We can inflict change. It might not be overnight, but mate, something is better than nothing. Because we gotta break. We gotta break the wheel. Like the only. We're gonna be stuck in this loop for the next 5 years until something changes.
Absolutely. I think a lot of us just need to be comfortable with the fact that no change at this point is ever going to be overnight.
That's key. That's key. No politician is going to come and say, I will change this nation. No, that's bullshit. That's lies. No. All they can do is affect 1%.
They can't do shit without their people. If the people decide to,
exactly.
It just comes back to this. If they're not going to do shit, then the politicians, they're just, spewing hot air, which is what they usually do, right?
Yeah.
God. So it's just...
I agree. Just go for it.
Yeah, wait, what was I saying? The thing that I said, no, I can't remember. Oh God, going back, it's
change won't be overnight.
Yeah, yes. No matter, we need to just be comfortable with the fact that no matter what we do, the change isn't going to come anytime soon. And I think, oh God, it speaks on an aspect of humility, I guess, that you just need to believe in the fact that you're going to leave a legacy behind, and the point of a legacy is that you yourself are not going to see it.
Yeah.
I think you just have to have that humility. It's just like you're not going to see the end of it, but
You've contributed
Your
to
children,
it.
your friends' children, your family, they're gonna see it, and you're gonna be someone who contributed to that. We just need to let go of the fact that, or we just need to stop having such a big ego that we need to see the end of this change.
Yeah.
We just need to be comfortable with the fact that what we do now is planting a seed that
Yes.
we're never gonna see the tree for.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a Hamilton.
Yeah, no,
quote.
like
Yeah.
that's what Jordan Peterson keeps on believing in. Like, do something good now and not expect anything back from it, but your children will reap that.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people are just so self like when they do something or when someone goes to campaign or what, their first thought is like, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
And like, what can I do? Now I don't blame them. Like, given the current circumstances, all they think about is like, what can I do to put rice on the table for my family in the night? But we gotta change the narrative of like, I can do something for my children to not be where I am now.
Yeah.
And that starts with yourself.
You can do it for yourself,
Yeah.
you know. Do something for yourself that your future you will appreciate. Because when you're taking care of you, everybody else under you is going to be taken care of because you understand how to take care of people. And like I love, when the UPNG have graduated, and a lot of graduates have posted pictures, and some of them posted. There was this story of this guy who went to the hospital to give his degree to Mama Benem market, and then she couldn't make it because she was in the hospital. So after he graduated with his gown, he went and he gave the lady the degree, and it's like because of you, because she sacrificed every single day. She would go to the market just to help him get bus fare to go to school, for him to have something, or I'm pretty sure she helped contribute to pay for his fees as well. And like that kind of mindset where you're not gonna benefit from like. She just did it selflessly, and at the end of the day, she celebrated in his accomplishment, and he was, humble enough to celebrate. And that's basically what you're trying to say. It's that you just do something to think about someone else, and if you're not going to see it in your lifetime, be thankful that at least somebody else is going to have a better life than you, and we have to let go of that. We just may not see the change we want to see in our lifetime, but if we constantly just do one good thing every single day, or constantly try to improve ourselves and improve our communities one small way or the other, then all of that compounds and all of that will pay off in the future. And it hopefully, and definitely, I have a lot of hope that a lot of people are thinking in this way, and they're going to try to start doing things. Definitely the future of PNG is bright, but everybody has to just be consistent with doing the right thing and doing something good, and
start with yourself,
and educating the next generation as well. It's like, you guys gotta do something as well, because it's your country, mate. It's your country. It's your country. It's your country too. You're gonna be living in it. You're gonna be paying these prices. You're gonna be employed by these people. And do you want it to be a much easier, much safer, much cleaner, much more beautiful, thriving country, or do you want it to be more of the same or even worse? Those are important questions we need to ask ourselves.
And it's something that only we can answer.
Yeah. The power is always yours. It's always going to be yours. Nobody can give it to you, and nobody can take that away from you.
You have the power.
You have the power. You have the power. What's the song again? I got the power. Yeah. I love that song.
Yeah.
Anyway, but to summarize, you have to start with yourself, find your self-worth, fix you, and then fix the person next to you. Only then, by improving yourself and improving the person next to you, it's sort of like a ripple effect. And trust me, you won't see it now, and you don't have to, but it'll benefit the future generations.
It's a compound effect. How when you open a savings account, they say your
the compound interest.
It's like it's like compound interest. Your money is going to increase by this amount. So you just keep putting money in. Slowly by slowly, then that percentage of the remaining, it just gets bigger and bigger. And that's
Absolutely,
the same. That's how change compounds. So the more little positive things, just be consistent with it, practice some good habits. Sooner or later, you're gonna see it's just gonna. And that's the thing. The compound effect isn't linear. It doesn't go up all this way. It's exponential. So it starts off this, and then it's gonna shoot up.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how it works. So.
Okay.
That's how you just make one step in the right direction.
Honestly,
and just keep it.
I can doing it. Yeah,
and just
it's a
do
testament.
it every single day. Just one, mate. Just one. I'll just close with this illustration. So there's a plane that flies. If a plane is flying from point A to point B, I mean, it's going to fly to point A to point B, but if it changes its direction just by 1 degree, it's not going to end up at point B. It's going to end up in a totally different place. And that's the power of one choice, one good habit, one good deed. It's so dramatic that it can change the entire direction of a plane. It's it's a measly little, but how the long-term effect, it's so powerful.
I mean, you're not going to see it now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're only going to see it when you get to wherever that destination
And you have to let go of that attachment of seeing it now because you may never see it.
Yeah.
But, have that understanding. It's like, it's not what? I'm leaving a legacy for somebody else. If someone else is going to have a better future than me, that's fine,
Be selfless.
You never know. Amazing things happen when you start to let go of your attachment to
Yeah,
whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Suddenly, things
is.
just happen.
This is about to die. Is it dying?
Wrap up.
Wrap up.
Oh no! From that, I actually wanted to bring up Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
The movie.
We're gonna watch it.
How much time do we have?
Philosophy is basically the movie.
It's dead.
I swear.
That's gonna be my new favorite.
Is it
movie
almost? Orange.
If
Okay.
it dies, I think we didn't
All right. Last message. Come on. Wrap it. Guys, want to say anything to any of your people out there?
So exactly what Chan said. So there's this movie that just came out in Paradise Cinemas.
Last 2 bars.
It's called.
Okay.
Just say watch everything, and what's it called?
Everything.
What about this one?
Okay, just let me know when I can go.
Sorry, man.
No, it's not.
What about that one? 1 bar. Can you swap the battery?
Yeah.
We'll just pause. All right. This okay. Go. Wrap
So
it.
building off of what Chan said, there's a movie that just opened up at Paradise Cinemas. It's called Everything Everywhere All at Once. What he just said about making choices in your life and then compounding and leading into either point B or C or D or whatever letter in the alphabet, different destinations. I suggest you guys go and see that. I just want to say that I don't think everyone might understand it. It deals with some heavy themes, but it's got kung fu and action. And it reminds me a lot of The Matrix. And
it's multiverse. It's gonna be like Doctor Strange. I want to
Really?
watch that. Yeah, it is.
It deals with a multiverse.
Everything. I gotta.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's basically about this aging Chinese lady.
No, don't say anymore.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, but please go see it and bring tissues if. Yeah, okay, that's all. But thank you. Thank you for
Dan?
No, yeah.
Daniel, how about you?
Yeah, Daniel. I thought your name was like Dan Short. I can call you Daniel.
Yeah, whichever.
my God, I love it.
He likes it.
Go on.
Basically, same message here. Like, just take control of everything you're doing as long as you can change that one thing. Don't listen to the generational low self-esteem. A lot of people, we have this thought that, we can't do this because we're from here.
Yeah.
A lot of people have gotten used to things being the way they are. So be that person in your family who's like, no, I can do this and make that change. So break those generational cycles if you can.
Also, another thing that's really in that movie as well, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's crazy how everything we're talking about is in this movie. But then again, that movie is called Everything Everywhere All at Once
So
for
it's
a reason.
yeah.
I just want to say,
Go watch it.
it's like 3 hours long, but it flies by like 20 minutes. I swear. Sorry.
No worries.
sorry.
No, it's nice. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. We have a goal of reaching 1,000 subs by the end of 2022. So please subscribe, share this with a friend. If you find value, comment, let us know. Reach out to me or Chan, one of the boys on Instagram. I'll put all the links below. We are at Life Gymnasium. We just had our open day yesterday. If you don't know where Life Gymnasium is, it is a gym inside of Holiday Inn. I'll also link the description below. Put the link in the description below. So just come and join the gym, guys. Join the gym. Without that, further ado, thank you so much for watching, guys.
Thank you, Not Culture, for being with us.
Not Culture. I
I
appreciate
think we're
your
the
time.
first to feature you, so I'm like,
Oh yes,
because we've
we
never
are.
been
There's
interviewed
not-
on a podcast or anything.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
We win.
They went to Now FM, but that's like old.
Oh no, but the
radio.
actual podcast,
Oh, no, but yeah, an actual podcast. That was like
with the
radio.
actual Podfather.
What Podfathers? Come on, give it up, man. Thanks, guys.
No, but seriously,
Appreciate
thank you for having us.
no
My
worries,
gosh, I'm
guys.
so
This
used
is
to being
so much
interviewed.
fun. Yeah.
Thank you for being with us and having a very interesting, delightful conversation.
Oh yeah, I
It
love
was
Please
this.
follow and
It was our
subscribe all their platforms. They're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. Don't be an asshole.